Also, Dr. Hillary's here for some clarity on the new Delta Plus variant, what that means for easing lockdown. And with Wimbledon set to return, we're going to be talking to Jamie Murray about why he's teaming up with his brother Andy. We'll see you with that and loads more at 9 o'clock. See you.
Thank you so much, Lorraine. Now, One Britain, One Nation Day takes place tomorrow. It's being promoted to foster a spirit of inclusion with a collective purpose.
The campaign is asking schools to hold a 1-minute clap to recognise people who helped during the pandemic and get the children to sing an anthem. Here is that anthem.
We are Britain and we have one dream, to unite all people in one great team. We are Britain and we have one dream, to unite.
So, is it...
Just say as well, though, it's lovely to see those kids enjoying singing that song.
Yeah.
I feel like all the kids in the video and all are really embraced it, enjoyed the process of making a pop video and being a part of this.
But I'm afraid it's coming for some criticism because some people are sneering at that and saying that teaching National Pride is not something we should be doing. Well, joining us is One Britain, One Nation founder, Kash Singh, who says the song will help children feel unified. Broadcaster Sean MacDonald says patriotism does not belong on the curriculum. So, Sean, tell us why this anthem, sung by these lovely children, I think it was written by primary school children, why you have a problem with it.
I mean, I don't have a problem with kids enjoying themselves, but patriotism isn't something that can be programmed. I think patriotism itself is defined as a vigorous support or devotion to your country. I think if you want to actually support your country, you want to be a patriot in the true sense of the word. What you would really seek to do is to improve society. So what you're asking kids to do here is to sing "We Are One Britain, One Nation" or whatever it is. I think the song, I don't really think it's that good. Maybe made it to the tune of Catch Our Slide. That would have been better. But these kids, the government have just voted, countless times not to feed them, and then you're asking these kids to be singing a song in devotion to a country that really hasn't served them particularly well. So that's why I think...
Sorry, Sean, it's not a song supporting the government. It's a song where children of all sorts of different heritage come together to sing together. I mean, Kash Singh, you are behind this initiative. You came to the UK from India, I understand, when you were only little. What was your idea behind this patriotic theme?
Well, I was, thanks, Suzanne, and Ben, good morning to you all. And Sean, yes, as you say, Suzanne, I came to this country at the age of 6, and I joined the West Yorkshire Police at the age of 20. Had a fantastic career, worked with some of the finest men and women in leadership you could ever imagine. And one of the concern for me was something that I'd seen is I was very keen to eliminate hate, intolerance and discrimination of any kind. I don't think any person in our country should be subject to something like that. So when I left the police, I started working on this concept called One Britain, One Nation. Now, this is a grassroots organisation. It's a community interest company which has been nurtured by school teachers. It doesn't belong to the government. It doesn't belong to DfE. It belongs to the grassroots people. And we've had a number of campaigns where I've always had this desire because this country's given me so much and my family so much. I was a second generation. I ended up as an inspector. Our third generation, they're QCs. And, patriotism is not on the national curriculum, but loving your country is something that I feel I owe to this country, and it's not a crime. I'm a great admirer of this country.
Sorry,
and I'm really...
If I can interrupt, apologies, we don't have a lot of time. I wonder what you make of the criticism that your campaign has faced. We've heard Sean talking there about his concerns about it. What do you feel? Do you think people have mistook the message that you're trying to get across?
What it is people like Sean and everybody else have based their decision on misinformation. And that's what the problem has been. This is a grassroots organisation, and the kids have come up with a fantastic song. And, as part of the national curriculum, championing British values, what these kids are doing, 7, 8, 9-year-old kids, they wrote that song, off their own bat. And nobody's manipulated them to do that. But if we've got that sort of teaching going on in this school, shouldn't we all be proud of our teaching professionals?
Okay.
You know, and I'm so proud of the children.
Sean, has Kash Singh changed your mind?
No, Kash was saying that 7, 8 and 9-year-old kids have written this off their own back. I don't believe that for a second. 7, 8 and 9-year-old kids are interested in Paw Patrol. They're not interested in repairing a fractured Britain. Kash, you seem like a nice guy. You seem very well intentioned, but it just doesn't sit well with me. And also, I'm confused as to why Scotland isn't part of it or haven't been included, because, I mean, the way it appears to me is that either you're not interested in Scotland's participation or you haven't shown Scotland enough respect to check, because I think it's taking place tomorrow to sing.
Kash, yeah, let's put that to Kash, because, of course, the Scottish schools break up, Kash, so they can't be part of the day tomorrow.
Well, absolutely. And like I said before, the government or the DFE, they're not involved in this. Now, I've nurtured this organisation. Sean, we don't have the financial or the infrastructure to take it across the whole nation. One of my desires now is, what we've got here, if I just finish, what we've got here is a template. And what I want to do next is work with DFE to tailor it so that we can take this across to all the 4 nations and be proud that our children are championing these values that will ultimately promote that peaceful and respectful coexistence and make our kids feel like champions. And let's, remove hate of all kind so that everybody can have a great future in this country. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. So I know what your concerns are, but Sean, I don't have the infrastructure to do that. But let's work on it together, everybody.
All right, there we must leave it. Kash Singh, thanks very much indeed. And Sean, thank you as well. 8:33.
An update is expected on the government's list of green and amber destinations today, with hope quarantine-free holidays to countries like Spain and Greece could be back by August.
The Environment Secretary, George Eustace, joins us now. Very good morning to you,
Good morning.
Mr Eustace. Can you give us any indication of what's going to be announced later?
Well, I'm afraid not. So Grant Shapps, my colleague, will be saying more on this later on. I think the Cabinet subcommittee that considers this evidence is going to meet a little later today. Look, we are proceeding with caution because there are risks of other variants coming from other countries, particularly countries that might not be as good at detecting new variants. So that's why we're taking a cautious approach. But equally, we do want to support a return to travel for people as soon as we're able to.
What can you tell us about the new Delta Plus variant? You're talking about those variants. That's the one that we're all hearing about today that seems to have a real sense of concern about how easily transmissible it is.
Well, we are studying that. I think there's around 40 cases that we've had in the UK at the moment. I don't think there's anything at the moment to suggest